So we are starting. I thought I am before schedule, but I now know that I am behind, so I'm sorry. Let us start. I think we have covered once, but I don't know why. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhirayet. Nashprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna. We are all welcome for continuity of Bhakti Vedanta study of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. We are in the section from verse number 23 to 31. Devaki offered prayers to Krishna. So Mother Devaki wanted to please Krishna, and by her affection in a motherly mood as a Vatsalya Prem, she wanted actually to pursue Krishna, to give up this four-handed form and just become an ordinary child that she can hide and save Krishna from the cruelty of Kansa. So now we are reading the verse number 25. Nashte loke dvi prardha. This is what it means actually is dvi prarabdha. Dvi means two, prardha means 50 years of Brahma's life, which means after millions of years, dvi prardha. At the time of cosmic annihilation, nashte loke, when everything manifest, unmanifested, is annihilated by the force of time, kal yogena yate, the five gross elements enter into the subtle conception, and manifested categories enter into the unmanifested substance, which means pradhan, and then they enter into the mahat tattva, and then from mahat tattva they go to the pradhan. So this is what the material total energy is. As it is during creation come out, during this dissolution it goes back. At that time, you means Krishna alone remain. Bhavan eka sishyate. Sishyate means you are only the one who remain after that. And you are known as Ananta Sesha Naga, Asesha Sangyaha. Sesha means what is left after everything is finished. So Srila Prabhupada writes, at the time of annihilation, five gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, enter into the mind, intelligence and false ego, ahankar, and then entire cosmic manifestation enter into the spiritual energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. आप लोग खाएं तो प्रसाद. The Lord is therefore known as, so the main thing is enter into the spiritual energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone remains as the origin of everything. The Lord is therefore known as Sheshanag or Adi Purusha and by many other names. Here this word is a little bit needs more explanation, how the entire cosmic manifestation enters into the spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord. How is that? Anybody can say? Yes?
I was reading 10.3.15 to 17. In that it was written ki total Mahat Tattva, that is a total material energy, which is undivided. But it becomes as divided into earth, water.
That is during the creation. Then it goes back in a reverse direction. just in a reverse direction.
It is there. Okay, it is stay there only, but it is in unmanifested form.
That is called pradhan. That is called pradhan. Unmanifested material mahat energy is called pradhan. And when the creation starts, that's called mahat tattva. The point is how this enter into the spiritual energy. That is the question. How this enters into the spiritual energy. Basically, it enters into the belly of Supreme Lord. Everything enters into the belly of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then they are again recreated. So it's written as spiritual energy. This is actually entering into the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's abdomen. But the spiritual energy is a word which everybody has to think about. Devaki therefore prayed after many millions of years, when Lord Brahma comes to the end of his life, which means 100 years of Brahma, of which 50 years are over and 51st year is the beginning. The annihilation of the cosmic manifestation takes place. At that time, the five elements, namely earth, water, fire, and ether, enter into the Mahat Tattva. The Mahat Tattva again enter into the force of time, Kal, and into the non-manifested total materiality, that is Pradhan. And the total material energy enters into the energetic Pradhan. Energetic Pradhan means actually one who keeps the Pradhan in his belly. That is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And the Pradhan enters into you, which means Garbhodakshaya Vishnu are non-different than you, because he is a Vishnu Tattva, or else Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is your expansion. Therefore, after the annihilation of the whole cosmic manifestation, you alone remain with your transcendental name, form, qualities and paraphernalia. My Lord, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, because you are the director of the unmanifest total energy. Director of unmanifested total energy. This is material energy, Pradhan. And the ultimate reservoir of material nature means everything stay in your belly. My Lord, the whole cosmic manifestation is under the influence of time, Kal, and beginning from the moment up to the duration of a year, all act under your direction. This is Bhishamdev says, Yudhishthir, you have all the reverses in your life. This is not because of your karma, but it is because of time. And then Bhishamdev pointed a finger towards Krishna and said, time is under his control. It means it is his desire. And he has put all reverses in your life simply to glorify you. So, this is what is written here is that Kal is under the control of Supreme Lord. Kalo asmi loka kshaya pravardho. Kal is another aspect of Supreme Lord. All are under your direction, and you are the original director of everything and reservoir of all potent energies. All potent energies means material energy, marginal energy and internal energy. Chakravarti Pad writes, for one who is not destroyed during the Mahapralaya, annihilation of Brahma and whole universe, it means 100 years of Brahma. What is the question of fear? The five primary elements, Mahabhuta, merge into the adhbhutam, subtle elements of the sense perception, are ahankar, and the ahankar merges into the avyakta, that is Mahat Tattva, and Mahat Tattva merges into the prakriti, which means pradhan, and then only you remain. Those things mentioned in the previous verse, such as form of Narayan and other, and also Brahma Jyoti and the Dham also remain. The Lord's associate, the place of the Lord, the cloth of the Lord are all eternal. You are called Shesh because you remain our Shesh. This is the way of driving the name Shesh. Shesh means what is left after everything is finished. So you are Shesh, but actually Shesh is only your one manifestation. And Laghu Vaishno Toshnani writes, time is the cause of destruction, and you alone remain. Since Vaikuntha is non-different from the Lord, And it and the other spiritual objects are included in this statement. Means they all remain intact. They are not destroyed when the whole destruction takes place. Generally, everybody knows during the night of Brahma, only Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, 3 planetary systems are annihilated. But when the Brahma's 100 years are over, all the 14 planetary systems from the Patal Lok to the Sat Lok are annihilated. So Vaikuntha is never annihilated. Or you alone remain with those forms designated as unlimited and also remain in Vaikuntha after Pralaya. Or the word asesha can also be taken as shesha, remain. Thus the inhabitant of Vaikuntha also remain after destruction. Or shesh can refer to all the objects of Vaikuntha that remain after destruction. So this is the meaning of sesh. Sesh does not mean that only the Anant Sesh which hold the earth. No. Sesh means what is remained after destruction of the whole material cosmic manifestation. This is the meaning of Avashesh or Shesh. Vaikuntha that remain after destruction, you alone, along with the object of Vaikuntha, understood samanja, sangeya, to be non-different from you, remain. You are alone. You alone exist. This does not include jiva of the material nature because they are bound jiva. They are simply sleeping now. When the next creation takes place, they will again put into the womb of the Prakriti and they will take again birth in this material world and they have to rectify themselves. How many types of destruction are there for the various elements who remain serving the Supreme during the destruction and who goes to the sleep? However, the devotees are in this special position. No one in this material world has become free from the 4 principles. What are the 4 principles? Birth, death, old age and disease. Disease and death. Even by fleeting to the various planets. But now that you have appeared, my Lord, death is fleeting in fear of you. And the living entity having obtained shelter, taking shelter at your Lord's feet, by your mercy are sleeping in full mental peace. Now then verse number 26. O inaugurator of the material energy, this wonderful creation works under the control of powerful time, which is divided into seconds, minutes, hours and years. This element of time, which extends to many millions of years, is but another form of Lord Vishnu. For your pastime, you act as a controller of time, but you are the reservoir of all good fortune. Let me offer my full surrender unto your Lordship. And here Srila Prabhupada writes, actually, this verse indicates that in previous verse, time was the controller of everything. But now time is not independent. Time is also under the control of the Supreme Lord. And that is explained in this verse. So Srila Prabhupada is speaking from Brahma Samhita about the time, because time is controlled by the movement of sun. So therefore Srila Prabhupada writes, although we see the cosmic manifestation as gigantic and wonderful, it is within the limitation of Kal, or time factor. This time factor is also controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dhiksha Prakriti Suyate Se Characharam. Indeed, everything is under the control of the time, and time is controlled by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Supreme Lord has no fear of onslaught of time, because time never have an influence on Supreme Lord, as the 3 modes of material nature never influence Supreme Lord. Time is estimated according to the movement of the sun, Savita. Every minute, every second, every day, every night, every month, every year of the time can be calculated according to the sun's movement. But the sun is not independent, for it is under the time's control. Brahmati Sambhrata Kala Chakra. Sun moves within the Kala Chakra, the orbit of the time. The sun is under the control of time, and time is controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Lord has no fear of time. The Lord is addressed here as Avyakta Bandhu, or the inaugurator of the movements of the entire cosmic manifestation. Avyakta Bandhu, Avyak is a material nature, and Bandhu means actually friend who create again and again. Sometimes the cosmic manifestation is compared to a potter's wheel. When the potter's wheel is spinning, who has set it in motion? It is the potter, of course. Although sometimes we can see only the motion of the wheel and cannot see the potter behind himself. Therefore, Lord who is behind the motion of the cosmos is called Avyakta Bandhu. Everything is within the limit of time, but time moves under the direction of Lord, who is therefore not within the time limit. Chakravarti Pad says, in the previous verse it appears that time is independent, but this verse speaks of time's origin. It speaks of cause of time, as Devaki prays, who does not fear fearful time. The time is your kriya shakti or cheshta. So what is time? Devaki Mataji is saying time is a kriya shakti, which means activity, or cheshta, which means endeavor. And this is for past time, and it belongs to you. So, Kal Shakti or Cheshta is under is your Kriya Shakti. Therefore, Lord Krishna is addressed as inaugurator of Prakriti, Avyakta Bandhu. The universe run by the influence of time. But what is time? Time is nimesha. Nimesha are moment of moments for up to years, which again multiply into days of Brahma. Because you are fearless, you can make me fearless. Therefore I surrender to you. Tva. This is Devaki saying, I surrender to you. Verse number 27. Martyo amirtyoho vyalabhitah pralyam palayan lokan sarvan nirbhayam nadhyagachat Twadapādāmbhoja prāpya jadrichādaya sushansete mrityuvasmādapayati. No one in this material world has become free from the four principles that everybody knows: birth, death, old age and disease. Even by flitting to various planets, they can go anywhere, but still death is sarvatra, death is everywhere. But now that you have appeared, my Lord, death is flitting in fear of you, and living entities having often sheltered your lotus feet by your mercy are sleeping in full mental peace. It means time is not disturbing them. It means the Kansa can never ever now disturb the living entities who have surrendered to the Supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada writes, there are different categories of living entities, but everyone is afraid of death. The highest aim of the karmis is to be promoted to the high heavenly planet. So, what are the different categories of living entities? Some are karmis, some are gyani, some are yogi, and some are bhakta. That's what it means actually. But everywhere there is an influence of time. Sahasra Yuga Param. This is all Bhagavad Gita quoted. Again, you see the time is described here. So I think this is very simple for all devotees, because this is the preliminary portion of Bhagavad Gita. And now we are reading from here. Therefore, devotees who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of Supreme Lord can sleep very peacefully. With this assurance from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. One who understands the Supreme Lord in truth has never to undergo birth and death. He will go back to Krishna. And now, again, Srila Prabhupada writes, the constitutional position of the living entity is eternity. Nahanyate hanimane sarire nitya shashvato. This soul is nitya, it is always stand. So this is everybody knows. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmand Brahmite koi bhagivan jiva Guru Krishna prasade payag bhakti lata bij. Everyone is wandering, but hardly anybody is fortunate come in contact with Krishna consciousness. by the mercy of his spiritual master and takes the path of devotional service, then one is assured of the eternal life with no fear of death. When Krishna appears, everyone is feared from fear of death. When Krishna appears, everyone is freed, relieved from fear of death. Yet Devaki felt, we are still afraid of Kansa. Although you have appeared as our son, she was more or less bewildered as to why this should be so. And she appealed to the Lord to free her and Vasudev from this fear. In this connection, it may be noted that moon is one of the heavenly planets. From the Vedic, Prabhupada writes, those who say we are going to the moon, then moon, they should remain for millions of years. Why they are coming back? It means they are never going to the moon. So this was the time Prabhupada was writing purport. There was always in the newspaper that some astronaut has gone to the moon. Prabhupada said if they go to the Chandralok, then it's so beautiful and people go there and remain for millions of years. Why they are coming back? It means they never went there. And Chakravarti Pad writes, Devaki prays, since those who take shelter of your lotus feet become fearless, what to speak of those who meet you face to face? Wandering throughout the universe, one cannot become free from fear. By great mercy, Yadarichaya, one receives the devotion to you and thereby attain your lotus feet, Tvata Pada Ambuja, which acts as the like Dhanvantri, which is the Vedic god for the Ayurveda, the lord of the medicine. By this medicine, a person becomes healthy. According to the Medani dictionary, the word abhajam, which means generally lotus flower, but it also means conch, moon, and Lord Dhanvantri. So Dhanvantri is also abhaj. Therefore, you are like Dhanvantri. Devaki continues, O Lord, again, O origin of all, although I am your devotee and have been accepted by you as your mother, I am still afflicted by fear of Kansa. Verse next. I think we are little behind, so the other commentaries are with you. You can refer. Verse number 28. My dear Lord, because you dispel all the fear of your devotees, I request you to save us and give us protection from the terrible fear of Kansa. Your form as a Vishnu, the Supreme Person of Godhead, is appreciated by yogis in meditation. Please make this form visible to those who see with material eyes. Srila Prabhupada writes, the word adhyan dhishniyam is significant in this verse because from the Lord Vishnu, the form of Lord Vishnu is meditated upon by yogis. Dhyana vasitadgatena vanso pashanti yam yogina. Devaki requested Lord, who had appeared as Vishnu, to conceal the form, for she wanted to see the Lord as an ordinary child, like a child appreciated by the persons who have material eyes. Devaki wanted to see whether the Supreme Person of Godhead had factually appeared or she was dreaming in the Vishnu form. If Kansa were to come, she thought, upon seeing the Vishnu form, he would immediately kill the child. But if he saw a human child, he might reconsider. Devaki was afraid of Ugarsin Atmaja. That is, she was afraid not of Ugarsin and his same man, but of the son of Ugarsin. Thus she requested Lord to dissipate that fear, since he is always ready to give protection, abhayam, to his devotees. My Lord, she prayed, I request you to save me from the cruel hands of the son of Ugarsin. She is not saying Kansa because he is too terrible. I am praying to your Lordship to please rescue me from this fearful condition, because you are always ready to give protection to your servitors. The Lord has confirmed this statement in Bhagavad Gita by assuring Arjuna, Konti hai pratijani name bhakta pranashyati. So, while thus praying to the Lord for rescue, Mother Devaki expressed her motherly affection. I understand that this transcendental form is generally perceived in meditation by great sages. But I am still afraid, because as soon as Kansa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. So I request that for the time being, become invisible to our material eyes. In other words, she requests the Lord to assume the form of an ordinary child. My only cause of fear from my brother Kans is due to your appearance, my Lord Madhusudan. Kans may know that you are already born. Therefore, I request you to conceal this four-hand arm form of Supreme Lord, which holds the four symbols of Vishnu, namely, everybody knows, Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma. My dear Lord, at the end of the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, you put the whole universe within your abdomen. Still, by your unalloyed mercy, you have appeared in my womb. So it means the whole world is in your womb, and you came in my womb. It is astonishing. Nobody will believe this. I am surprised that you imitate the activities of ordinary human beings just to please your devotees. Devaki was so afraid of Kansa that she could not believe that Kansa would be unable to kill Lord Vishnu, who was personally present. Out of motherly affection, therefore, she requested the Supreme Personality of Godhead to disappear. Although because of the Lord's disappearance, Kansa would harass her more and more, thinking that the child born of her was hidden somewhere. She did not want the transcendental child to be harassed by Kansa. Therefore, she requested Lord Vishnu to disappear. Later, when harassed, she would think of him within her mind. It means she is ready. This is what Chakravarti Pad writes. Devaki prays, you are fearless, and your devotees are also fearless. आधा घंटा तो और कम से कम करेंगे. हाँ मुहर्रम करना भाई वर्ष ऐसी मुहर्रम. You are fearless and your devotees are fearless. Then why, O Lord, do you keep your mother and father in fear? This is the intention of this verse. Ghora, terribly fierce, means great fear. Out of fear of Devaki. Devaki does not mention the name of Kansa directly, but use the word Ugara Senatmajan. Ugarsin Atmajan, son of Ugarsin. So, Krishna replies to Devaki, O mother, I have appeared to kill Kansa. Bring Kansa here, and I will kill him right before your eyes. Hearing such talk from Krishna, simply increasing Devaki's fear. Due to motherly affection, Vatsalya Bhav, Devaki thinks that her small child cannot kill Kansa. Therefore, she worries about harm coming to him from Kansa and become more fearful. It is not suitable to follow the strategy showing fear before my child. Devaki thought, I should not show my fear before my child. And therefore, it is better policy to use words. Thinking thus, Devaki began to reason in another way in order to get her child to conceal her four-handed Vishnu form. O Master, this splendid form, which is the object of meditation, should not be seen by material eyes. It means you just become ordinary, human-looking child. Oh, Jiva Goswami has written a long purport, and there are many verses quoted also. You can refer to this. There are good words actually, but our time is limiting. Verse number, Mahabharata says, cows see by smelling, Brahmans see through Vedas, kings see through spies, and ordinary people see through eyes. So Devaki is saying, "O Madhusudan, because of your appearance, I am becoming more and more anxious in fear of Kansa. Therefore, please arrange for that sinful Kansa to be unable to understand that you have taken birth from my womb." So Devaki addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Madhusudan. She was aware that the Lord had killed many demons like Madhu, who were 100,000 of times more powerful than Kansa. Yet, because of affection for transcendent child, she believed that Kansa could kill him. Instead of thinking of the unlimited power of the Lord, she thought of the Lord with affection, and therefore she requested transcendent child to disappear. Krishna replies, "O mother, if I make this four-armed form disappear. When Kansa comes and he will ask, 'Where is the child?' thinking you have stolen the child, he will commit violence against you. Will he not?" To answer this, Devaki replies, "I have no fear of that." Thus she speaks this verse, "Do something so that Kansa will not know that you have taken birth from me." Krishna says, "Having killed the Madhu demon, is it necessary that I kill Kansa?" Fearing this question, Devaki addressed her son, "O Madhusudan, at present Kansa is thousands of times more powerful than Madhu of the past. Let Kansa beat me for my offenses, but I only desire your safety." Krishna replies, "You have spoken of my powers in the previous verse, but was all that empty words?" Devaki answers, "Truly, O son, as your mother, I am unsteady of mind. Adhiradi. Do not be sad. This is my fault, and I take full responsibility for it. But out of affection for your mother, please withdraw your form." And now, in verse number 30, mother is saying, "O my Lord, you are all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, and your transcendent four-arm form holding conch shell, disc, curb, and lotus is unnatural for this world. Please withdraw this form and become just like natural human child so that I may try to hide you somewhere." Devaki was thinking of hiding the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not handing him over to Kansa, as she had all her previous children handed over. Although Vasudeva had promised to hand over every child to Kansa, this time he wanted to break his promise and hide the child somewhere. But because of child's appearance in this surprising four-headed form, he could not. It is impossible to hide him. Devaki continues, "As you pervade the whole universe and I reside within the universe, you also reside within me. How then has this weakness of heart arisen in me? It must be your fault." Thus Devaki addressed Lord as Vishwa Atma, soul of the whole universe. "Withdraw this uncommon four-handed form of Vishnu. Assume the form of normal human baby and I will quickly hide you." And verse number 31.
Guruji, when Krishna appeared as the Vishnu form, Narayan form,
Krishna appeared as 400 Naram, yes.
was he like a small, like a child, or he was
Adhbhut Balakam, the word in the verse is Adhbhut Balakam Chaturbhujam. It was Balak, it was not a fully grown Vishnu form, it was a child form. The verse says Balakam.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yes. Today I am going in a little super fast speech because I heard that I am too behind. At the time of devastation, the entire cosmic containing all created moving and non-moving entities enters your transcendental body and is held there without difficulty. But now this transcendental form has taken birth from my womb. People will not be able to believe this, and I shall become an object of ridicule. Srila Prabhupada writes, Chaitanya Chaitamrita explains, loving service to the person of God is of two different kinds. Aishwarya Puran, full of opulence, and Aishwarya still, without opulence. Real love of God begins with Aishwarya still, means no Aishwarya, on the basis of pure love, Premanjan Churita. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the form available for the inhabitant of Vrindavan. Which form? Shyam Sundar. Who are all in love with Supreme Person of Godhead as Shyam Sundar, not as Lord Vishnu, Narayan, who is worshipped in Vaikuntha, where the devotees admire his opulence. Although Devaki is not on the Vrindavan platform, she is near Vrindavan platform. On the Vrindavan platform, the mother of Krishna is Mother Yashoda. And on the Mathura and Dwarka platform, the mother of Krishna is Devaki. In the Mathura and Dwarka, the love of Lord is mixed with appreciation of his opulence. But in the Vrindavan, the opulence of Supreme Lord is not exhibited. And then there are the 5 stages, Dasya, Sakha, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur eliminates this factor very clearly in this explanation of this verse. 3 things, Bhakti, Bhagavan and Bhakt do not belong to this material world. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Mam cha yo avibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samate tetana brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in spiritual activities of unalloyed devotional service immediately transcends the modes of material nature. From the very beginning of one's transaction in bhakti, which means sadhan bhakti, one is situated on the transcendent platform. Vasudeva and Devaki, therefore, being situated in a completely pure devotional state, are beyond the material world and are not subject to material fear. In the transcendent world, however, because of the pure devotion, there is a similar conception of fear, which is due to the intense love. So there is also fear in the spiritual world, but it is because of too much intense love. Bhakti may be considered in 3 stages called Guni Bhuta, Pradhani Bhuta and Kevala. The Guni Bhuta and Pradhani Bhuta are mixed bhakti and Kevala is a pure bhakti. And according to these stages, there are 3 divisions which are called gyaan, which means Guni Bhuta, Gyanamai, which means Pradhani Bhuta, and Rati or Prem, which means Kevala. There is the simple language, love mixed with knowledge, number 1. There is number 1, simple knowledge, which means Guni Bhuta. Love mixed with knowledge, that is Bhakti Mai or Gyana Mai. And the third one is pure love, that is Kevala. By simple knowledge, one can perceive transcendental bliss without variety. That is impersonal Brahm. This perception is called Manabhuti. When one comes to the stage of Gyanamai, which means mixed with devotion, one realizes the transcendental opulence of the personality of Godhead, like God with his opulences, like Dwarka and Mathura. But this is called, you can say, Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti's result. But when one reaches the pure love, one realizes the transcendental form of Lord as Lord Krishna or Lord Rama. This is what is wanted, especially in the Madhurya Rasa. One becomes attached to the personality of Godhead, Shri Vigraha Nishta Rupadi. Then loving transaction between the Lord and the devotees begin. This is special significance of Krishna's bearing a flute in his hand in Brajabhumi. So now Prabhupada is writing 4 things of Krishna, the Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri and Prem Madhuri. These are only in Vrindavan, where there is a pure bhakti. And Chakravarti Pad has a lengthy purport on this, which is actually describing all these things, these stages, Gyaan, Gyanmai and Prem. And then Prem, he said, Chakravarti Bhat says, Prem is a Chitta Shakti. Chitta Shakti. This point is explained. Okay, Chakravarti Pad writes, Bhakti may be considered in 3 stages. Guni Bhuta Pradhan, same thing Prabhupada has given us. The purport. Virja Krishna, in Virja Krishna displays 4 unique type of sweetness. Rup Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Prem Madhuri and Venu Madhuri. Okay. Why do the Yashoda and Devaki have different type of Prem? Although they are both Nitya Siddha devotees, their difference in Prem is also Nitya Siddha. There can be no further discussion on this. Now our restaurant, everybody has taken their dinner. Now we have to go from here and check in. I will now kill Kamsa. You will be famous for having this farm as your son has a 400 farm. Jiva Goswami writes. People with material eyes will also be astonished. Fearing this response, she requests him again with increasing strength as mother, disregarding his power, using another pretext. And pretext means people will make joke of me. How a human can have 400 form of Vishnu? At the end of Brahma's night, you as the great creator, create and maintain millions of universes in this your body. You are the creator of Mahat Tattva, superior to the manifested world. Therefore, how can you fit into my belly? So now this section, verse number 32 to 45, Krishna explained the reason for his appearance to Vasudeva and Devaki. I think we were supposed to start from here today. And as I am told, we should have finished this chapter today, and tomorrow 4th chapter needs to be started. Is it right? Are we 1 day behind? Yeah, either we should have finished up to this yesterday or today. Any student?
It's written that today we have to start by 25 and end by 53.
So already we have finished this, right? Are we behind?
Oh, probably this is the old one, the old title. I'm sorry, I don't know.
As far as I know, in a previous timetable that today we should have finished 31st. So we can start from 32 tomorrow, but I think Shakti Swarupani Mataji said today we have to finish this chapter. Anyway, I have to leave.
Yes, from 32 till 53 today, yes.
Today up till?
Yes, Guruji, ending this chapter is where it is mentioned. Basically, July 11, 32 through 53. 53 is the end of the chapter.
It means today we have to finish this, right?
Yeah.
So I am 1 day behind. I thought I am 1 day ahead. I don't know. I miscalculated everything. Anyway, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, let us see. 15 more minutes I can continue with you then, because everybody is waiting for me. Just landed and then they are in bus to check in. Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, my dear mother, best of this chaste, in your previous birth, in the Swayambhu millennium, means during the first Manu of this day of Brahma, you were known of this Manu, you were known as Prishni, and Vasudeva, who was the most pious Prajapati, was named Sutapa. Srila Prabhupada writes, it's not that she is mother only now, she already remained mother previously also. So Krishna is eternal, and his selection of father and mother from among his devotees take place eternally. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, he accepts his eternal father and mother, and they accept Krishna as their child. This pastime takes place eternally and is therefore called Nitya Leela. It means Today, right now, the demigods are praying somewhere in some universe to as a Garbha Stuti, and then Krishna has appeared somewhere in the middle of the night according to the timetable of that universe, and Krishna and Devaki and Vasudeva are praying like this. That is called Nitya Leela. So once Srila Prabhupada was asked by the devotees in some temple that Janmashtami is coming, Srila Prabhupada, you stay with us in this temple. He said, what? Janmashtami? Every day there is a Janmashtami. Krishna is appearing every day on some planet. So his childhood pastimes are eternal. His Pongal pastime are eternal. His cow herding is eternal. His Govardhan Leela, all these are eternal pastime. They are just going from one to other planets, and there are universes are innumerable, and these pastimes are continuously going on. Thus there was no cause for surprise or ridicule, as confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karam Cha Me Divyam. Lord said, "O mother, not only in this birth, but in the previous birth I have appeared." We know this. Verse 33. When both of you were ordered by Brahma to create progeny, you first underwent severe austerities by controlling your senses. And Srila Prabhupada will write, here is an instruction about how to use one's senses to create progeny. According to the Vedic principle, before creating progeny, one must fully control his senses. And then Srila Prabhupada is writing actually that if the people do Garbhadan Sanskar, then there is no need of the contraceptives. That is very sinful. And Prabhupada is saying people are not following these sanskaras, particularly Garbhadan Sanskar. And therefore there is a Varna Shankar population all over. So, and one should not become a father or a mother or a spiritual master or a king or a teacher if he cannot deliver his dependents. So Prabhupada is writing the whole thing about the misguided civilization without the rituals of purification. It is therefore necessary for people to be educated spiritually, so that instead of begetting children like cats and dogs, they will undergo austerities to produce devotees. This will make their lives successful. Verse 35 and 36. My dear father and mother, you endured rain, wind. So these are these austerities which were which Vasudeva and Devaki in their first birth as a Prishni and Sutupa underwent. So why they were doing austerities? Because in this way, desiring a benediction from me, you worship me with a peaceful mind. Srila Prabhupada writes, Vasudeva and Devaki did not obtain Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son very easily. Not does the Supreme Lord accept merely anyone as his father and mother. Here we can see how Vasudeva and Devaki obtained Krishna as their eternal son. In our own lives, we are meant to follow the principle of indicated herewith for getting good children. Again, Srila Prabhupada is writing, here is some line important for us. Not practicing Krishna consciousness, but simply encouraging artificial means to check the population will be futile. The population will increase and it will consist of Varna Shankara, unwanted progeny. So, first austerity is necessary. The Sankirtan movement, Prabhupada writes, everyone should be taught to undergo austerity, tapasya, although it may not be possible to undergo tapasya like that of Prishni and Satupa. The shastra has given an opportunity for a method of tapasya, very easy to perform. And what is that? The Sankirtan movement. One cannot expect to undergo tapasya to get Krishna as the one's child. Yet simply by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, one can become so pure that one becomes free from all the contamination of this material world, Mukta Sangha, and goes back home, back to Godhead. So instead of bringing Krishna here, it is better by chanting Hare Krishna, we can go to Krishna. So this Krishna conscious movement, I can add in that list, therefore, is teaching people not to adopt artificial means of happiness, but to take real path of happiness as prescribed in shastra. And that is the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, and become perfect in every aspect of material existence. The verse number 36 says, thus you spend 12,000 celestial years performing difficult activities of tapasya in consciousness of me, Krishna consciousness, where they are son of Brahma. So they were on a Satya Lok, and the time there, these 12 years of them are very, very lengthy time, and they did that. Verse 37 and 38 says, O sinless mother Devaki, after the expiry of 12 celestial years, in which you constantly contemplating me within the core of your heart with great faith and devotion and austerity, I was very much satisfied with you. Since I am the best of all bestowers of the benediction, I appeared in this same form as Krishna to ask you to take from me the benediction. So Krishna appeared there, and you desired whatever you desire, and you then expressed your desire to have a son exactly like me. So here Srila Prabhupada is speaking, 12,000 years is in a celestial, that's what Prabhupada said, it was Brahma's calculation. And then Prabhupada writes, though love only, through love only, we can very easily go back to Godhead. Why call Krishna here? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore declared, Prema Puman Pumartho Man. Love of God is the highest achievement for anyone. And we have explained in the worship of Lord, there are three stages, gyaan, gyanmai and rati. Sutapa and his wife Prashni inaugurated their devotional service on the basis of full knowledge. So first they were at the first stage of knowledge. Gradually they developed love for the Supreme Person of Godhead. And when this love was mature, the Lord appeared as a Vishnu, although Devaki then requested him to assume the form of Krishna. So they went from Gyan to Gyanmai, and from Gyanmai to the Rati, or love of God. So then Srila Prabhupada writes, to love the Supreme Person of Godhead more, we want the form of Lord like Krishna or Ram. We can engage in loving transcendental service with Krishna especially. In this age we all are fallen, but the Supreme Person of Godhead has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow upon us love of God directly. This was appreciated by the associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami. Then is called called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mahavadanya, most munificent of charitable person, because he gives Krishna so easily that one can attain Krishna simply by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We should therefore take advantage and benediction given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, we are cleansing all the dirty things, Chetodarpan Marjanam. And this is also Kirtan Ev Krishna's Mukta Sangha Param Brajeta. So how this starts? Sevano Mukhe Hi Jivadav. Instead of bringing, this is important point, instead of bringing Krishna here for some material purpose, to have a son or whatever else, if we go back home, back to Godhead, our real relationship with Lord is revealed, and we are eternally engaged in our eternal relationship. By chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we gradually develop our eternal relationship with the Supreme Person and thus attain the perfection called Swarup Siddhi. We should take advantage of this benediction and go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has thus therefore sung, Pati tapavan hetu tava avatar mosam patita na pae bakkoi ar. So we may take advantage of this great benediction of great personality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The austerity performed was constant meditation on the Lord with devotion and faith. The use of the three words Shardhaya, Nityam, Bhaktya indicate that the devotion of Prishni and Suttapa was not merely a form of yoga practice. Rather, their devotion showed total absorption in the Lord, which by itself lead to perfection and prem. However, bhakti devotion of the Prishni and Suttapa was mixed with gyaan and aishwarya. It means gyānamai. Because of they practice yoga and severe austerities. Some also reason that since Nitya Siddha Parikar, eternal associate of Lord Vasudeva and Devaki, had a Nitya Siddha Aishwarya Gyan mixed with bhakti, their answer, Prishni and Suttapa, also had mixed bhakti. Their austerities and yoga practice were therefore incidental. Fixed in determination, this word is used instead of. The meditation of Prishni and Suttapa was filled with bhava, transcendent love. In other words, they had genuine, pure devotion for the Lord. So we can do till verse 40 today, and then tomorrow depend upon Krishna. Being husband and wife, but always sonless, you were attracted by sexual desire, for by influence of Deva Maya, which means Yoga Maya, transcendent love, you wanted to have me as your son. Therefore, you never desired to be liberated from this material world. I think Srila Prabhupada is writing here, Vasudha and Devaki had been Dampati, which means husband and wife. Since the time of Suttapa and Prishni, so Devaki and Vasudeva, this is their third birth, because they never wanted liberation. Even now, when Narada comes to Dwarka, Vasudeva and Devaki personally says, now you teach us that instead of going back to Godhead, we wanted Krishna to come here, but now you teach us something that we can go back to Godhead. And therefore, Narada will speak in 11th chapter, the Bhagvat Dharma, and then Vasudeva and Devaki now will go back eternally to love and serve Krishna in Mathura and Dwarka. So, this attachment came about by the influence of Deva Maya. Loving Krishna as only as a son is a Vedic principle. Vasudha and Devaki never desire anything but to have the Lord as their son. Yet, for this purpose, they apparently wanted to live like ordinary grasta for sexual indulgence, although this was a transaction of spiritual potency. Their desire appear like attachment for sex and conjugal life. If one wants to return back home, back to Godhead, one must give up such desire. This is possible only when one develops intense love for Supreme Personality. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Niskanchanasya Bhagavat Bhajan Unmukhasya Pram Aparam Param Jagamoha Bhava Sagarasya. If one wants to go back home, back to Godhead, one must be Nishkanchan, free from all material desire. Therefore, instead of desiring to have a Lord come here and become one's son, it is better one should desire to become free from all material desire. Anya Bilashita Sudyam. And go back home, back to Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us in Shikshastakam, na dhanam na janam na sundaram. And one should not ask the Lord to fulfill any material tainted desire. Maya referred to Devaki and Vasudeva's affection for their son. Srimad Bhagvatam says, Vaishnavim Vyatanom Mayam Putra Sneyamayim Vibhu. By the influence of his internal potency, Yoga Maya, Krishna inspired Mother Yashoda to become absorbed in intense material affection for her son. Devaki and Vasudeva were common with bliss. Being childless and detached from the material enjoyment, but overcome with the bliss by parental affection, you did not pray for liberation. Verse 40. After you received that benediction, I disappeared. You engaged yourself as a husband and wife to have a son like me, and I fulfilled your desire. According to the Sanskrit dictionary Amarkosh, sex life is also called Gramya Dharma, material desire. But in spiritual life, this Gramya Dharma, the material desire for sex, is not very much appreciated. If one has a tinge of detachment for material enjoyment of eating, sleeping, mating and defending, one is not Nishkanchan, but one really should be Nishkanchan. Therefore, one should free from the desire to beget child like Krishna by sexual enjoyment. This is indirectly hinted in this verse. Desiring in this way for a son, you then engage in your family life. According to the Sanskrit dictionary, Gramya Bhogan, this is the meaning. So we end it here. Having attained me and received the benediction with joyful mind, you then collected material object with the desire to be qualified for a wealthy son like me. I arrange that you become slack in renunciation in order to fulfill my purpose, Krishna is saying. Laghu Vaishnav Toshni says, I arrange that you become slack in renunciation in order to fulfill my desire. With joyful mind, you then collected material object with the desire to be qualified for a wealthy son like me. You began enjoying object previously enjoyed because you had a desire. The first yuyam can also mean yuvam mai gate. When I left you, the word dattva instead of labadva is seen in Sridhar commentary, but that version is not seen anywhere. The meaning would be, having given the boon and departed. The word varam indicates the means. Having attained the means of getting a son like me, you engage in material life. So I end it here. Hare Krishna.